A white feather drifted down out of the sky, light as nothing, just floating wherever the wind decided to take it. Mama always said, life was a lot like that. Sometimes you got a direction, sometimes you're just carried. I've been thinking about that most of my life. My name's Forrest Gump. I was born in Greenbow, Alabama. Mama picked the name Forrest, said maybe she wanted me to know that even a man could have a little something growing inside him if he tried hard enough. I had a crooked back when I was little, had to wear metal braces on my legs, heavy things. Every step I took made a sound like a screen door. You could hear me coming from halfway down the hallway. Most kids made sure they were already gone, but Mama never let me believe I was different. She said, God made everybody different. That's what makes everybody the same. I didn't understand that much back then, but Mama wasn't the kind of person who said things she didn't mean, so I believed her. The first day of school, I got on the bus. Every seat had somebody sitting in it, and every kid looked straight ahead, like they didn't see me. Every seat but one. A girl with yellow hair and quiet eyes slid over. She said, "You can sit here if you want." Her name was Jenny, and looking back now, most of my life story started right there on that bus seat. Some boys started chasing me one afternoon, bicycles, throwing rocks. I tried walking faster, but those braces didn't make that easy. Then I heard Jenny yelling behind me, loud as she could, "Run, Forrest, run!" So I ran. Those boys were getting closer. I could hear the bicycles behind me. The braces were shaking, rattling. Then something strange happened. Those metal braces just broke apart, pieces flying everywhere, and my legs, the legs everybody said weren't right, they just started going, like they'd been waiting their whole life for permission. I ran clear across a football field, didn't even stop. Next thing I knew, the coach from the University of Alabama wanted me on his team. I didn't understand football too much, but the coach told me something simple. When somebody gives you the ball, run. And that I could do. That I could do real good. After college, I joined the army. Mama said it was a fine thing to do for your country, so I did it. That's where I met Benjamin Buford Blue, but everybody called him Bubba. Bubba loved shrimp more than anybody I ever met. He could talk about shrimp for 20 minutes without stopping. Shrimp gumbo, shrimp creole, barbecue shrimp, shrimp sandwich, shrimp soup, just about every way you could cook a shrimp. One night he told me something. When the war was over, him and me were gonna start a shrimp business together. I said okay, not just to be polite, I meant it. Then one day in the jungle, everything went wrong. Bullets, smoke, people shouting. I did the only thing I knew how to do. I ran, but this time I wasn't running away. I kept running back into those trees, one man at a time, carrying them out, again and again and again. But when I got to Bubba, he was already gone. The last thing he said was he wanted to go home. I reckon that's what most folks want in the end, just to go home. They gave me a medal for what I did that day, a medal of honor. Lots of people clapped, but I kept thinking something. A medal don't bring a man back. I made Bubba a promise, and Mama always said, a man should keep his word. So I bought a shrimp boat, named it Jenny, after someone I loved, and someone I missed. At first, we didn't catch much shrimp, sometimes none at all. Then Lieutenant Dan showed up. He was my officer in Vietnam, lost his legs in the war. For a long time, he lost a lot more than that. He didn't believe in the shrimp business, didn't believe in much of anything, but he stayed. Then one night, a hurricane came, the biggest storm I ever seen. Boats were breaking apart everywhere, but our boat kept floating. When the storm ended, we were the only shrimp boat left in the whole Gulf. After that, the shrimp started coming, more shrimp than we knew what to do with. We called it the Bubba Gump Shrimp Company. Lieutenant Dan invested the money in some fruit company, Apple, I think. We did real well after that, but it never felt right keeping it all. because Bubba never got to see any of it. One morning, I woke up and decided to go for a run. No real reason, just felt like running. So I ran to the end of the road. Then I figured, since I'd gone that far, I might as well keep going. I ran across Alabama, then Mississippi, then Louisiana, Texas. When I got to the ocean, I turned around and ran back the other way. People started running with me. Reporters asked me questions. They wanted to know what I was running for: world peace, hunger, politics, something important. But the truth was, I was just running. After 3 years, 2 months, 14 days, and 16 hours, I stopped, right in the middle of the road. I was tired, so I went home. The people behind me looked confused. They asked, "What do we do now?" I said I didn't know. That was something they had to figure out themselves. Jenny came back. She'd been running too, just not in the same direction as me. She stayed for a while, and for the first time in my life, everything felt quiet, peaceful. We sat on the porch most evenings. She talked, I listened, just like that first day on the school bus. One night, she said she loved me. I told her I knew. She laughed. We got married on a Tuesday. It was a real fine day. Then we had a boy, little Forrest. I'll be honest, I was scared. Scared I wouldn't know how to be a father. Jenny told me something simple. You already know how. You just love him. So that's what I did. Then Jenny got sick, the kind of sick that doesn't get better. She tried explaining it to me, but the only thing I understood was she was leaving again, this time for good. She died one morning in the spring. I held her hand the whole time. I planted a gum tree where she rests because Jenny always liked the shade. Sometimes I sit under that tree and tell her about our boy. She'd be proud of him. He's real smart. This morning, I walked little Forrest to the school bus. First day of school. He had his backpack, new sneakers, and Jenny's eyes. When the bus pulled away, he looked back at me through the window. I waved. He waved back. And just when the bus disappeared around the corner, a white feather drifted down out of the sky, floating, just like before. I picked it up and held it for a while. Thought about Mama, thought about Bubba, thought about Lieutenant Dan. Most of all, I thought about Jenny. Mama always said life was like that feather. You don't always know where you're going. Sometimes you got a destiny. Sometimes you're just floating accidental-like on the breeze. Maybe it's both. Maybe life is a little bit of running and a little bit of drifting. But I reckon, as long as you keep moving forward, the wind eventually takes you somewhere you're meant to be.